Buenas chicos y chicas, estamos aquí en The Witcher 3, esta grandísima serie, ¿vale? Vamos, que nos vamos. Como siempre digo, coger las palomitas y a disfrutar, hijos de puta. Vale chicos, estamos aquí, teníamos que hablar con Henrietta esta, vamos a ver.
Her Grace awaits inside.
Su gracia, y la mía también.
Here at last. We lack only Damien now. I'm worried something might have happened to him.
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Sintrian appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Sooner or later everyone slips up. Sintrian stole the Sun Real. That was his mistake.
Yet if we had not happened on the wine stain...
You're right, we got lucky. Even so, still can't be sure he's behind the kidnapping, the blackmail. Need to find the Sintrian, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Eso también es verdad.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Sintrian does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
Used to it. Not the first time I've been hunted.
Must you always? Now, the port warehouse where the wine was delivered, we identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Sintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Sintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted, very.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Sintrian gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
Gotta nab the Sintrian. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Sintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place. A residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville, in Mountebank Alley.
Vale, tendremos que cambiarnos de ropa, señores, pues vamos para allá. Vaya un vistacito aquí. Esto es mierda nomás.
I should double the patrols, just in case.
Vale, como habéis comprobado, le he cambiado el atuendo, la armadura aquí a Gerard. Y un par de ajustes también he hecho, pero bueno. Las botas también las quiero poner de color rojo porque, como verán, a mí el color rojo es mi color preferido, así que no me quedaba tinte para las botas. O sea que... Bueno, yo aquí hablando y me estaba yendo para el otro lado. Vale, venga, vamos para allá. Pues tengo el caballo ahí. Vamos más rápido el caballo que a pie, pero yo... Bueno, vamos ahí a pie, a ver. Vale, ¿y esto qué es? ¡Uf! Vale, son bandidos, venga. ¡Wow! ¡Esto tan fuerte, coño! Venga, vamos para allá. Vale, uno menos. Este es el que está dando por... ¡Venga, cabrón! Pero encima que lo que intento es ayudar, vienen estos aquí a dar por culo. Vámonos, vámonos. Vale, por el tema de que le han puesto precio a su cabeza, pues eso es lo que hay. Y el cabrón a que sigue siguiendo, que el tema que... Vale. Me voy a tener que deshacer de esta gente, si no aquí no voy a poder hacer nada. Pero vaya rollo, ¿no? Me deshago de ellos aquí. Bien, parece que sí. ¿Dónde cojones está la entrada? Aquí.
Nice tune.
Vale, que no me he cambiado de ropa. No pasa nada tampoco. Eso me pasó porque no le di al opcional, que era cambiarme de ropa, pero bueno, no pasa nada. No creo que me vaya a salir fallida la misión, pero os aconsejo que lo haga.
Oh, Geralt. I knew I should have taken you to the palace, handed you over to my tailor.
Tranquila, niña.
Whatever are you wearing?
Sorry, didn't have time to change.
Luckily, I prepared for just such an eventuality. Here, don this doublet. It's
Mira, de puta madre.
age these days.
Ahora sí, ahora va que vamos.
Not all bad. Nothing like a budding artist, of course, but... Just one other detail. Here, put it on.
Una máscara.
Mask.
All who attend the Mandragora soiree wear them. If you have one on, no one asks who you are.
Vamos dentro.
Let's go. Soiree started.
Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. Soon as we find her, we find him. Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Ballant.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaviri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaviri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Centurion.
Vale. Opcional, participa en los entrenamientos de la velada.
Come on, Geralt, be bold. Show us the artist in you.
Good folk, yet another soul longing to express its creative side.
Well, you are not an art?
¿Y dónde venía la lanza? Esa es la pregunta. Ah, pero que tengo que hacer cola y todo, no me jodas. Tengo que hacer cola, mira, ahí te queda. Vamos directo porque si no se me va a hacer muy largo, señores. Vamos a ver. Aquí ya te cojones.
It's all about two things: coin and copulation. Pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but pretentious. So much time I spent polishing that one.
Vale, tenemos que buscar por las arcobas una mujer con una orquídea. Vale. Así que aquí no lo vamos a encontrar ni de coña, pero bueno, vamos a ver.
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
No me jodas. No.
Blah, blah, blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. Pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism.
Arieta, mi niña, quítate delante. Vamos a ver aquí. Vale. Coño.
Do not disturb. Shoo, shoo.
It's the right flower.
Of course it is. A Kaviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still. You may speak, but for love's sake, do not move.
Wow. Impressive portrait.
I know the style, the stroke. This is Dorian Velez.
The gracious lady has heard of me.
I've heard Anna Henrietta herself wished you to paint her portrait once.
At one point, the palace chamberlain even wrote to me, but, alas, ultimately refused my terms.
What was the matter?
When he learnt I only ever paint nudes, he severed all contact. He said he would not dare offend her illustrious highness with such a proposition. I've always longed to paint her. Such a shame.
I think you may still get your chance.
Mira con Henrietta, coño.
We came here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Centrian noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Centrian noble. Ah! You must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid confused me.
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it. But I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here. Tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift. A heart-shaped box. Then they strolled off together towards the refreshment tables.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur. I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
Pues nada, a seguir buscando por lo que veo.
Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
The cat and the fiddle. We must still offer that
Ah, how beautiful.
Color is but the shadow.
Vale, aquí está.
The dolphins. That is no ordinary illusion. The man is a true artist.
Impressive. Empty heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Centrion, I imagine.
Vale, tenemos que seguir el olor. Vamos a
Let's
ver.
follow it.
Sí, pero ¿y el olor? Vale, vale, vale. O sea, yo que no lo veía, pero aquí está. Así que vamos para allá, a ver. Madre mía, ¿quién tuviera todos estos poderes, señores? Te podía dedicar a cualquier cosa, hasta espía. Vale, esto me está vacilando, pues.
But what if he doesn't come?
He'll definitely come.
Vale, suponía que por aquí fuera no iba a estar, o sea que...
Sorry, only artists in the Mandragora allowed.
Come, we must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh! Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
Dejándonos pasar, cabrón. Bueno, vamos a decirle esto por si los moscas.
I hope we can count on your discretion.
Of course. I shall be silent as the grave.
Vale.
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask, and he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Vale, eso está mejor. Quédate aquí, empanado.
Quickly, upstairs.
No está cerrado, cojones. Vale. No jodas.
That must be Cecilia.
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana. At once. She should bring her soirée to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine. Go after that rogue. I shall fetch help.
Pues menudo hijo puta, ¿no? Vale, sentidos de brujo. Vamos por aquí.
Killed her, then went out on the balcony.
Salió por el balcón, vale, vale.
Bloody handprint. It's his. Must have climbed this ladder.
Debió saltar, no creo yo.
Broke the flower pot when moving the door, then stepped in the soil. Footprints made by soiled boots.
Vale, vamos a seguir las huellas a ver hasta dónde cojones nos llevan. Ya terminan aquí las huellas, esto es imposible. Este subió por aquí para arriba el cabrón, claro, claro. Vale, se pone interesante esto, señores. Pero otra que tuvo que entrar aquí dentro.
Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Bloodstains. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably.
Ah, coño. Y la pistilla esta, hombre.
Snap chain. Jewel must have been on it.
Buah, pues como sea un poquillo fuerte o de un poquito por culo. Vale, aquí hay algo más. Joya de gran valor.
Precious stone.
Puta madre.
Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this. Must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace. Seems there was a struggle.
Buah, y pistas por todos lados.
Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for.
La cojones. Vale, con ese cuchillo se supone que la rajó.
Hunting knife, richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Canvas is cut. Somebody took a knife to the painting, looks like.
No, hombre, coño, déjame. Ah, me cago en la madre.
Sconce is bent, smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it.
Vale, y ahora salió por aquí.
Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out, fall out.
No sé si se cayó, pero ahí está la última pista. Vamos a ver, chicos, de dónde nos llevan.
Was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Fall had to have killed them. Jewel's still here, though, so our Centrian must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centrians killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything, in full detail. I caught him red-handed, attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He
fell out of the window.
Just so.
La verdad que sí, atacarlo fue muy imprudente, digo yo.
None too wise picking a fight with an armed robber.
Why? Because I'm a woman, in a frock rather than plate. I can take care of myself, I assure you. A hairpin might look like mere ornament, but plunged into an eye, it can be as effective as a blade.
La hija de puta. Vale, vale.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewelry.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it, many years ago, from a young woman.
Raro.
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Centrian must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
También, ¿verdad?
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Joder.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana.
But might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Pues nada.
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the Son Real and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
It could be something else altogether. My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers.
No jodas.
She left court when we were children. My parents banished her from the duchy. I've not seen her since.
Joder.
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Can an individual be evil because they were born during the wrong lunar phase?
Could be the case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth. Isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Siana.
She was angry at the whole world. She felt inferior, felt pain, though she masked this with confidence, arrogance even. She'd also be cruel at times. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush. Siana knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day.
Joder, con la bromita, ¿no?
In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly since.
Think your sister might be involved? Why?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive, throwing jealous fits if I had something she didn't.
Here, that's normal for sisters. Rivalry.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. There are times I miss that very much. The wine, its theft, was the first clue. That's very much like her. She always did enjoy stealing my toys, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift. At a time when my parents thought of her as but an ill-behaved little girl, someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen, or recovered. It's my sister. It must be.
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries? Could be right.
Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Duntine, and if Siana is there, you must find her. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way, shape, or form. You must make sure of that.
I'll find her if she's there.
I hope you do. I very much wish to talk to her. Sister to sister.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlef van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire.
Hostia.
We are lending our combined resources to the Witch's Hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. We've known each other for... ages. Literally. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too. Even that you are friends.
Vamos a ponerle te sorprende.
Seems surprised. Why?
I never would have suspected Regis to find common ground with a Witcher.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only two options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. What might the monster wish to apologize to a Witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
No sé qué decirle, a ver. Como los humanos, sí.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Enough about the Witcher trade for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith.
Tengo un presentimiento y ahora os lo diré a ver si es verdad.
An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a Witcher,
And the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Detlef here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous, and you were gonna watch him.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detlef believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore.
That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renna.
A ver si la hermana de aquí de la Duquesa va a ser la que era la amante de aquí de Desla. Yo creo que puede ser eso. Bueno, vamos a ver. Vamos a ir directos.
Now listen close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are. They're based at Duntine Castle.
That's splendid news. If they are there, Renna must be there as well.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there too. Thing is, she might be involved. Could be behind the blackmailing.
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract 2 women from the castle?
Mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Detlef, who wants revenge above all else.
Geralt, you must trust me. I've got away with...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Detlef here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
I hope you know what you're doing. Fine. I shall see to Detlef. Good luck, my friend.
Splendidly, Detlef. Ah, I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back. It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to 2 exquisite ladies.
Regis, gallant as ever. I regret all the more that I shan't finish this second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. Geralt, will you see me out?
Con dos vampiros supremos ahí, madre mía.
You have exceptional friends. This Detlef, an intriguing man to say the least.
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet. I'd not survive a week at court otherwise.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost, which is why he comes across as grim.
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I. But I have not drawn you out for a romantic stroll. I wish to make certain you know what you are to do.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. You will meet them at Count de la Croix's mill. It stands along the Saône-Retour River, near the Cockatrice Inn. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at midnight. You shall storm the castle together.
Pues vale. Pues bueno, chicos, vamos a dejar el capítulo de hoy aquí, para que no se haga más largo ya de lo que se ha hecho. Espero que les haya gustado. Si es así, un like, lo que me estén viendo por primera vez, suscribiros, que va a seguir la serie. Y como siempre digo, chao, chaito.
Not two swords.